I'm Carlos Diaz. I'm 29 years old. I am an associate producer at NBC Deportes. Well, I grew up on a TV family, so to speak. Both my parents are actors. I actually grew up in a TV studio, Sábado Gigante, that I just finished. I basically grew up in that studio. My parents also did film and theater, so it was very into me, things along those lines. At some point in my life, my parents didn't want me to do anything that was remotely related to anything that was any arts or performing arts. So they decided that I should study engineering or medicine or something like that. It didn't work out. I'm mostly in charge of things that relate to live content of soccer. I'm mostly in charge with things that are the graphics or the stories that we want to tell, the editing, that kind of stuff. That's my main role in Telemundo.
¿Qué es para un jugador que apenas está creciendo?
I never thought I was going to be doing sports. I always thought I was going to be doing a scripted series or directing or things like that. I really didn't like soccer until I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and it just happened that there was an anime cartoon that's called Captain Tsubasa or Los Supercampeones in Latin America. When that cartoon came out, I started watching, and these guys were basically superheroes. They had shots with flares, and it would turn into a dragon, and they would score and things like that. At the same time, the 1994 World Cup started, and Mexico did really well on that World Cup. It was the only time Mexico has ever beat a European team. They beat Ireland 2-1, so there was a big craze for soccer, and I started getting into soccer.
Hola y bienvenidos a este nuevo segmento desde las redes.
Yo soy Carlos. One of the most rewarding things that I never in my life thought it was going to happen, it was that in October of 2013, we were covering the qualifiers for the CONCACAF, and Mexico was playing Costa Rica. It was a do or die game. Mexico had to win, they lost, and they are making the World Cup because the US won their game against Panama. We did that game, and we had live shots going back and forth between two games, and we decided to post that game as an entry for the Emmys, for the natives. We were nominated, and we were nominated in the same category 4 times, and we ended up winning it. So to me, I never in my craziest, wildest dreams I ever thought I was going to have an Emmy at 27-year-old, sitting at my house.
Muy buenas noches y bienvenidos a esta edición especial de Titulares.
Sometimes we're a little lost. In this case, I tell you, I didn't know I wanted to be a sportscaster. I never even considered the possibility. That was not part of my reality. Then I realized I could do it, and it was something I really liked. So try a lot of things. If you have a path and you feel that that's what you want to do, put time in it. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it don't, but anything that you ever learn will always give you something. You're never going to walk out of something that you put a lot of time in because you wanted to without taking something back. So I feel in the newer generations, you kind of do the one thing, you don't really like it, or you're not sure, and you just give it up. That's something you shouldn't do. If you're passionate about something, just keep working on it. Something eventually will come out of it if you really, really like it.